Hello everybody, it's Titan9 from the future. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I recorded all of the videos in this ST5 series, hours, maybe even less, after the full list got spoiled. And so a lot of new information has come out, and the cards have been put onto the training app. And basically, I spent a lot of time in the first video and in this one talking about suppression and how I think it works mechanically. And even though we don't have definitive proof, the TCG app feels like a good way to go. And basically, suppression only works on the unit with it, aka Gundam Barbatos's fourth form. The confusion was in this wording here: damage to shields by an attack is dealt to the first two cards simultaneously. And I had gotten the idea that it was this global keyword suppression making all attacks do to shield damage simultaneously, based on the fact that if we look here at Wing Gundam, it has breach, and it specifically says when this unit's attack destroys an enemy unit. So it felt the need to clarify that breach only works on Wing Gundam by specifying this particular unit. Suppression does not say damage to shields dealt by this unit. It's by an attack. And so that was where the confusion's coming from. On first glance of the card, when it was way back when suppression was first spoiled, assume it was like breach. It would just be this unit. I bet most players do think that. So it is certainly more intuitive. I just took another look at the text at some point when I was practicing the deck for the video. I just noticed an attack instead of by this unit, and that made me think, oh, is this actually... And that felt... It did feel like a purple mechanic would be. Like, I am trusting that I can finish the job quicker than my opponent can finish me, and so I'm fine that we're both doing two damage simultaneously. Perhaps I kind of overthought it there. It did feel like a reasonable read of it based on how breach is worded, but their templating has been a little different on a number of cards that should act the same, or it's been somewhat similar on cards that shouldn't act the same in the Gundam TCG. They're just starting out. They're kind of cleaning it up. The early days of Magic is sort of rife with that kind of nonsense. But this is my guess, that the cards... That this card is meant to be the only one that has suppression, and that when it deals damage to the shields, both of them happen simultaneously, so the owner of the shields get to choose in what order any burst effects take place. I believe that is what you can expect from your ST05 events, and apologies that some of the information in the videos will no longer be relevant, but it didn't really change the outcome of the game. In fact, I usually made my job harder trying to see if suppression worked the way that it did. But this is the best clarification on the rules I can give now, and I hope that you enjoy the video that follows despite that. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, and welcome back. I am Titan9, and today we're going to begin a series on the ST5 Iron Bloom starter deck. The full list just dropped today, so I was very excited to start taking a crack at it. I'm on Wing Table here. The developer will at some point put ST05 here, but I was able to just recreate it myself to get these videos out to you quickly. I've been excited about purple. It reminds me a lot of black in Magic the Gathering, where you have some short-term gain at the expense of giving yourself a lot of power. There's also some graveyard recursion synergies that I'm excited to try. If you have seen one of these videos before, they're all going to have this opening, so feel free to skip ahead. In the description, you can click on the timestamp to go to the actual gameplay, or you can, in the timeline itself of the player, you can kind of see where the different quote-unquote chapters are. You can skip ahead there, too. Feel free, you won't hurt my feelings. I don't want to waste your time. I just want to help inform you on how to play for your starter events that are coming up. Now, I believe it's going to be just ST5 decks beating against each other the whole time. Doesn't sound the most exciting. We will definitely be exploring the mirror match, because that's going to be very important, obviously. But first, I wanted to see how the Iron Bloom stacks up against the other four decks. It'll be a good way to kind of learn how the deck operates in a vacuum, and see how the cards all coordinate together. So we're going to do a video with the first two against the first two starter decks, then against the second two starter decks, then a couple matches against the mirror to prepare yourself. So Stay tuned for that over the next week and a half or so to get you ready in time for your ST5 event. This deck leans more aggressive, it looks like, but when the full GD2 comes out, it seems like there'll be a lot more opportunities for maybe like a purple-blue or purple-white controlling kind of shell. That has me excited. But for now, we're going to take a look at this deck here. The deck is an aggressive deck that uses self-ping to make itself even more aggressive. Along those lines, we have the CGS Mobile Worker. You choose one of your units, and you deal 1 damage to it, and it'll get +1 AP. We have to rest the unit, so you can't do it multiple times, and it's only main phase, so you can't pull out a combat trick, but that's one of our enablers. The pilot Mikazuki is one of our enablers. You choose when you pair it, so it doesn't have to be linked, just paired. You choose one of your units and an enemy unit, and you do a damage to both of them. So you have some pinging, but you also get to enable your effects here. And Iron and Blood, another one where you choose a unit and you deal damage to it, but it will gain +3 AP during this turn. And this is an action, so you can use this as a fun combat trick. Those are the main enablers of your deck, your cards that care about that. The LR, or one of the LRs of the set, obviously. The Barbatos 4th form. When it's damaged, it gains suppression, and it's already a 4/5. When you deploy it, you deal a damage to another unit, so that's another enabler, and it will only get +1 AP during the turn, though. So, again, that short-term gain for a better attack. But the rest of it's very good. The suppression I like as a mechanic, too, because as best I can tell, it seems to happen to both players. Like, suppression now is just this global effect. So, you, the aggro deck, are going after your opponent's shields very quickly, but if your opponent is able to surprise pivot and out aggro you've now made it easier for them to do that. I really like that tug of war kind of the effect. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Let's see, the other Barbatos 2nd form, that one cares about it. It has a +2 AP when it's damaged. Well, I guess you put the Mikazuki on it, and you've dealt damage to something else too, and you get to attack with it. And you still have 1 resource left over. Maybe you can hold up an unforeseen incident. That's back in the deck. It'll have different art than this, but I'm glad they're putting more of these out in the ecosystem. The card's just good in general. And that seems to be like why the white stuff is in here. You have your GMs in both colors, white and purple. Each of the faction gets a GM. But like the white stuff, like this Graze commander type has blocker. It's a Zawart that can attack, but you have to wait a turn to play it. The other LR, McGillis's Schwalbe Graze, it has blocker 2. It's not the most exciting blocker, as it's only a 4/2. When you pair it, though, you can give another unit -2 AP if it's level 3 or lower, so you can try to get some favorable trades with your bigger purple units that way. McGillis Farid, sort of Amuro at home. If you've got Galahorn or Tekkadan units in play, 2 of them, which is all the deck is composed of with its units, you can rest a unit with 3 or less HP. So, like, your white stuff is basically allowing your purple stuff to get attacks through, get good trades in, or protecting them on the crackback, because you've been doing damage to yourself, so they are more vulnerable. And your blockers, your couple of blockers that are in here, and your unforeseen incident can keep them alive. Fatal Strike is our first just flat-out destroy card, or kill card. It's only level 3 or lower. And if you burst it, you only get to deal a damage to an enemy unit, but this card has me interested. It's not broken bonkers, but you can kill a Zwart with this. You can kill all the new low-cost blockers that are coming out in SD2. You can kill a Lefrith. So you can get some smaller stuff out of the way and attack with your rush units, or I'm sorry, your units that you played on the first couple turns of the game. That's pretty cool. Akihiko is some good graveyard recursion, right? So we're doing damage to our units to make them powerful. They're more apt to die. But if we can link our Akihiro, we can get a level 2 or lower one from our trash to our hand, which we've got 7 of these GMs. We got 4 mobile workers if we want to enable that. That seems to be it. So, not the most exciting units to bring back, but there are 11 of them, and that's just value, right? If we're just trying to go wide, like a problem with rush decks, we kind of run out of units, Akihiko is sort of like a draw in that way, but we get to pick what we're getting. Just needs a little setup first.
We have our Isaribi. This rewards us for having damaged units. We get +2 AP for resting it, so that'll be nice. And it's a 0-5 base, and we can play a turn earlier than... No, that's not true. There are plenty of level 3 bases. I'm confusing myself here. Let's see. Oh, this Gyujin Ribaki, that also lets us tap a unit. It has to have 4 or less AP, but that can get rid of some early blockers too. And I think I've got a purple Razel. That's another reason why I'm excited about purple. I love Razel. I'm sure I'm going to love it in purple too, especially since there seems to be an aggro bent to at least the deck, but the Tekkadan purple stuff seems to be aggressive. The Vulture stuff seems to be kind of graveyardy focused. But as we see with Akihiko, there seems to be a little bleed in both of them. So a lot of stuff to like in the deck, and I'm coming into this deck blind here too, so I'm probably going to make some mistakes, but I think it's going to be...
All right, and welcome back. If you skipped the intro because you already saw the first video, as I promised, my feelings aren't hurt, but I just wanted to welcome you anyway. And we are playing against Zeon Rush now, the quote-unquote aggro deck, though it feels like it has a bit too much top end to be full aggro, so it was the deck that kind of had me scratching my head the most during the starter deck events that were being played, but we are going first here. They can have an aggressive start, so we have to keep that in mind. I obviously like having the 2 Fatal Strikes, the kill spells against them, because that will kill a good chunk of their deck. The problem is it will do it on turn 4, and even though we can play both of them, the fact that we have to wait actual 4 turns, we might be dead. We don't have any of the blockers in our hand. They have close combat to kill our CGS Mobile Worker, which is our engine card. And then we have yet another level 4 unit. So I think we're going to mulligan here. I will miss the Fatal Strikes. They will obviously be helpful, but I think they're going to have too commanding of a board by that point anyway. And I'd rather be... Well, all we're really doing is taking turn 2 off. And there are plenty of things we could draw to play on turn 2. Yeah, you know what? Let's give it a try. I think we can out-aggro them. Or we need to be the control role here anyway, so let's keep our control cards in hand. We're not going to mulligan. Talk myself into it. We're going to hang out here. We did not draw a level 2 unit, but we will get to play our Mobile Worker. We're not going to get to utilize its effect for a while, and I guess if they want to use a close combat on it, fine, what do I care? Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They have like support units, so like this unit itself is an aggro. It's just a way to get its other aggro units to be bigger. I don't like that. We didn't draw any of our... We had 10 other units we could have drawn that turn. We did not draw them. That's okay, that happens sometimes. We are going to get to use the 2 Fatal Strikes on those, most likely, which will be juicy targets, so that's nice. And we even have a base we can play. We could actually play this base now. Get a card. They'll need to attack. They'll need 2 units to clear out the base. And if they want to attack with this Gaza D, then they only get 1 shield. Yeah, I don't hate that. And then we get another card in hand that could be useful. Okay, we'll play the Purple Razel, the Hyakuyen. We'll play the Isaribi. Get a card. Okay, we have an Akihiko that can go with this Gyujin Ribaki that we drew. We can we don't have a lot of great units to get with it, so we might try to save that if we can. We could get this CGS worker, but whatever. It's not likely that the only way they could really... they do have the close combat for it. All right, well, we can get it. We can get it back if we find we want that engine. All right, great. And look, we got another base anyway. Good bursting. Okay. So Ooh, that changes some math. What can they rush us? They have Char, so they could rush us, but that would more or less be their whole turn. They could play another 1-cost unit, but they probably would have done it this turn if they had one. They probably would have rushed us with a Char if they had that one too. Okay, so we're going to attack into the Zaku 2 with Hyakuren. They can close combat if they want to. That doesn't bother me. We are going to play this McGillis Schwalb that we just drew. We're going to pair it with the McGillis.
We don't have a unit to trade, but we are going to give this Zaku 2 -2 because they could just swing into my Schwalbe anyway and kill it. So let's just... They can't do that with the Gazadi. Gazadi could only kill our Hyakuren. It can't take out our base. If they want to support something, it's sort of irrelevant because the Char rushed unit would get 5 anyway and kill basically whatever it wants to. If they do that, they would trade. They could clear our boards out. The Angelo. I forgot about the Rush Angelo. Yeah. It's been a while. I never played the Zeon deck in the starter events, so I have not the most experience with it. We cannot kill that with these kill spells in our hand. But that's okay, because the problem with aggro decks is they play a lot of units, and you can't do anything about them if you don't have blockers, because they're not rested, so you can't even attack them yet, and we are getting low on shields, mostly because we keep playing bases. Do we have a good way to kill this Angelo's Gira Zulu now? The answer is no. I think I'm gonna play the Gundam Gyujin Rabaki to get back that pinger, that engine. Well, okay, let's not do that. Is this kill spell a main? It is. I think I might want that pinging unit to get an engine going. They have 2 more close combats, but I don't have to play it until I know I'm going to use it. The problem is I might draw another one, and that would feel kind of bad. Or I might get another unit that gets killed along the way that I would rather use, but if I don't play Akihiko and his Gyujin this turn, I'm going to play it probably on the following turn anyway. And I'd be a little more mana inefficient then, or resource inefficient, though I guess I could still play a number of 2-cost things. Still hold up unforeseen incident, both cases. Alright. We are going to trade the Hyakuren into the Gira Zulu. We're still safe from full frontal for another 2 turns. We are going to play the Barbatos. We are going to play the Mikazuki on it. We don't get anything to damage on their end, so maybe that's a reason to hold off on it until there's something that we can kill. Maybe I'm trying to be a little too value greedy in what is ostensibly an aggro deck. Okay, we're gonna hang back tight here. Yeah, punished. Punished! So punished! Alright, I wish we had realized that a turn earlier. We do have a 2/2 now. We can attack. We don't get to rest anything until we have the 4 AP. Oh, that feels so bad. Okay. Oh wait, but we do have these kill spells, so we could do that. We could kill 2 things. Mikazuki could kill the other thing. And we still hold up unforeseen incident and play a Grazi. Yeah, okay. That seems reasonable to me. Alright, we'll kill the 1/1. We'll get rid of that base another turn. Unforeseen incident is likely to make sure this thing lives, unless they have a Rush Char unit, but that is what it is. Yeah, sadly the Gyujin would only become a 4 unit. Yeah, we should have... We got a little greedy there on the value plays. Alright, Fatal Strike on the 3/1. Fatal Strike on the Goif. And we'll play the Grazi. And we'll sit tight. Just hold on to this unforeseen incident for dear life. Ah, it is the Sanaju! But they won't if we use the unforeseen incident, they won't get to destroy the base, which means this effect doesn't happen, and then we get to our Grazi to live another turn. Okay, let's do that. Haha! You fell into my trap, you fool! Oh, we got another unforeseen incident for our trouble.
Sadly, though, I think we have to... Oh, no. Okay, here's the play, guys. Here's the play. All right, Gundam Gyujin Rabake. Oh, I have to destroy an enemy unit with battle damage. Okay, here was what I thought it just got it when you played it. That was silly of me. Not reading the cards enough. It's my first time playing it. The card pairing, I mean. Then we would get back the mobile worker. Then we would use its effect to deal damage to the Gyujin Rabake, giving it +1. Still not enough to kill the Sanaju, but then we can use the Isaribi to do that. Oh, but you know, we can still do that same... No, because I have to kill a unit with battle damage. Damn, that we do need that engine. All right, so I have to lose my Barbatos into the Sanaju. Even with -3, my thing still dies. That makes me sad. Okay. It is what it is. I have no way to damage this Gyujin to let the Isaribi pump it up to kill the Falmal in one hit. Bye, Sanaju. Bye, Barbatos. We will go after that base. Just get it out of the way for future turns. They have more cards in hand than we do, which I don't like seeing from an aggro deck. They have gotten a lot of value, though, right? We essentially had to use 2 cards on our tokens. They had all the frontals in hand. That's why they had so many cards in play. So, like, they have gotten a lot of value. They've essentially gotten 3 free cards off of the Goyf and the 2 Falmals. And we had to answer all of them. So we did lose cards in that respect. We are going to get to use the Gundam Gyujin to kill that full frontal token, and that'll get us back the pinger, and hopefully we can get our engines online from there. Our Graze isn't sadly doing anything. We could use the unforeseen incident to keep the Gyujin. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. All right, they're running low on cards now too, so we might as well get the most value. And now it is damaged though, so if it survives next turn... Oh, I can't use that ability on the Graze either. It has to be a Tekkanen card. I gotta read the cards. I'm learning on the fly here. Place other... We have no reason to play out the CGS mobile worker now. There's no benefit to doing it. We can activate it on the turn we play it anyway. It only costs 1, so we're going to be able to play it whenever we play anything else anyway. So we're just going to chill. No point attacking with the Graze. That's just a free food for our Zaku 1 that's been full frontaled. We'll end the turn. So it's unlikely they have their 4th full frontal. And they would need their other Sanaju at that same token. Okay, so this is good. We have our Barbatos. We don't have Mikazuki, but we can turn it online next turn. Let's go and finish off the base again. A Rush Char... Ruins are... Not ruins, that's too strong a word. It would come after the Graze, and it would live. So that would be slightly annoying. Another... Well, they have picked the wrong target to Ravula. They did have a Char, but none... There's only... I guess that... I kept trying to play around a Char, but a Char Link unit, but I forgot. The other weird thing about this deck is it only has 2 cards that Char can link with, despite having 4 Char pilots. Okay, look at this. Gundam Barb. So anyway, I guess the first thing is they shouldn't have Arula, the card that gets a benefit from being damaged. That felt like an odd move. We can kill off this base, and if they want to trade with me, that's fine. How are we going to kill off this base, you ask? Why? We're going to activate our Isaribi to give +2 to this Barbatos that they damaged for no reason. And we're going to attack the Arula. And we're going to play this Gundam Barbatos 4th form. We're going to give 1 damage to... It doesn't super matter. They're likely to trade with this Barbatos 2nd form anyway, though if they have the close combat, then they get to kill it for free. Alright, we won't be greedy. We'll just let some damage happen to that. This thing's likely to die anyway. Why does it get +1? Oh, because of that 1 term effect. Okay.
We're not going to attack. I want to see Suppression do some stuff next turn. Iserubi's gone. Don't care about that. They don't have blockers. They have a base again, which is annoying. The 4 bases? I guess an aggro deck doesn't want to see 4 bases. Okay, so we don't even need the mobile worker here. We're going to use Iron and Blood to deal a damage to the Barbatos. It'll gain suppression. It'll kill the base in 1 hit. And then we'll get to see the other units under the global effect of suppression. I believe that's how the rule's going to work. I do not believe there's been official ruling on that or an FAQ coming out from Bandai. But this is how I believe it would work. Alright, 1 damage to the Barbatos 4th form. Okay, it looks like it's the only one that gets suppression. It just says damage 2 shields by an attack. By an attack. Now, we don't know the ruling, so this might not be accurate. The person who designs this might think this is how it works. It seems like, if you don't think about it too deeply, like that would make a lot of sense. So in case this, I do want to see the suppression take out these shields at the same time. So in case that is the case, if that happens to be the case, we've won this game, so we can kind of like dick around a bit here. We want to see the suppression go off, so we have our mobile worker. We will activate its effect. It only gets +1 AP, so we have to do the damage to the Barbatos. Hopefully they don't have a close combat here. Finish off this base. Okay. Gonna do our suppression. Okay, they're both gone. And we don't have enough shield to know if another suppression would happen. We'll let the Grazi go and do its thing. Okay, they just had 2 more pilots in hand. So they did that. See, this is why the deck kind of feels weird to me. They had 3 cards in their hand that they couldn't play till turn 6. I guess they had 4 because they had the Sinaju 2. Not where a Rush deck wants to be. They did end up drawing a lot of pilots. They drew those 6 pilots. 2 here, 1 Char, those 3 full frontals. Ugly hand that they had there. Kind of a clunky aggro deck from my experience. Okay. But here we go. We got to see a little suppression. Hopefully we are in an opportunity where we can see if suppression happens with all units. I really wish they would just give a rule. I don't know why they don't give the ruling as soon as they reveal the mechanic. Feels like a great time to do that. So we all don't sit around being like, how does this work? Because we did that with Banshee 2. And they just waited forever to come out with that. I don't know why. Alright, but let's now go on to the next match. Okay, we're playing against the ST4 deck, the Seed, whatever it was called, deck, with the white and red. So we're playing second, though. Their deck has blockers, too, which can be frustrating. They also do a lot of breach units, so we have to be careful of that since we're going to be doing a lot of swinging out. We have blockers of our own, though, and if we can get our synergies off the ground, we should be able to go big enough to handle their biggest units. Their LR, their Atherin LR, the one that deals damage to level 5 or higher when it attacks. We don't have to worry about that super much. We only have a couple of units that are that high. Like even the white LR is level 4. So the only target I believe that it has is the 2 Barbatos LRs, and we want that to get damage anyway. Okay, but our hand here, because we're going second, turn 1, Graze Custom. Turn 2, Hyakuren, the purple Razel. Turn 3... we could just play this naked Barbatos. We could play a naked Gyujin, or we could rush that Gyujin out if it seems advantageous. We have a lot of options here. Definitely a great hand to be second, and I'd probably keep it if we were going first too. We just lose that first turn. No mulligans, please. All right, they play a little 1/1 blocker. You know, slightly annoying, but no big deal. And we do have this Mikazuki to just finish it off if we wanted to. But we'll see how we're feeling. Probably we'll do that, because there's not a super big advantage in attacking with the Graze Custom next turn. Best case, it does 2 damage to a base, which doesn't kill it. Worst case, it takes 1 damage and kills this blocker that we're going to be able to kill in 2 turns anyway. So let's play the Hyakurin. And also, so we could... Yeah, I think we want to try to keep that EX resource for a bit. We'll end the turn here. We'll play our Razel and just chill. They're not going to finish our base off either. If they wanted to be aggro and attack with their blocker, like, that's pretty sweet for us. Okay, we have a lot of good pingers here, so I'm excited about that. We have With Iron and Blood, we have the Mobile Worker, and our Mikazuki that we're going to use now. So we have our engines. If we can draw stuff that cares about getting damaged, we're going to be in good shape. We're going to get to keep our EX resource, because we're going to Mikazuki right now. We are going to damage itself so that we get that benefit, and we have the 6/5. We're going to kill the blocker, because I don't want the blocker there. And we're going to go aggro here. Now, we have to be somewhat careful. We are basically going... If we attack the Graze into their shields, we're turning it into food for the Mobius Zero with little effect. Where we can attack the we can attack our Razel into that Mobius Zero next turn should we want to. And since we have our engines, I think we're going to get to do a lot of silly shenanigans. So I do think it would be good, although we could, with Iron and Blood, the Graze custom to kill it there, but I'd rather save that for something more impactful later on. We have the purple Razel to kill that Mobius Zero, so let's just trade with their Jin. We don't need to go all-out aggro here. Their top end is somewhat better than ours. Oh, I should have attacked with this Barbatos. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh, they gave that... Okay, so now do we want to do the damage? Get rid of that Atherin? Yeah, I guess we do. We have the repeatable one. When the Mobile Worker, so we have that at least. I should have attacked with his Barbatos. That was silly of me to have not done that. Do we get something useful to bring out? Just that Graze custom? That's not the most exciting thing, but our Mobile Worker is unlikely to die anytime soon. It's not going to get to do it this turn anyway. Alright, let's finish off that base, because that's annoying. Unless they put a pilot on the Strike Gundam, they're not going to be able to kill our Barbatos anyway. There are other things that can. I'm going to play the Gyujin Rabaki, and now do I want to put the pilot on it? If they Atherin and MA, or so, whatever the 3/4 Breacher is for him, that gets to do 4 damage. It won't die if I put the pilot on it. Yeah, alright, we'll just be safe then. Put the pilot on the guy. We won't attack, though. Well, what's the advantage of not attacking? They can't Kira me. I save it to try to... But, like, if all I'm getting back is that 2/2, like, is that worth not being aggressive here? I already missed 1 attack last turn. Yeah, alright, we'll just go. They have a lot of blockers, so we sort of do need to get aggressive here. They acknowledge they don't have a good trade with that strike. They have another base, and they do indeed have the blocker. The blocker will kill the Barbatos, so we keep that in mind. I can kill this 3/3 and get a unit back. It can't take out the base anyway, so let's do that. And if it wants to block it, which it shouldn't, okay, good, it doesn't, we would get to kill that and we would survive. We get a unit, and we're gonna go wide here. Unit. So we played 2 2/2s, one of either color, and another Gundam Gyujin Rabaki. Which they bounced one of our 2/2s to hand. Oh no, they bounced the Gyujin... They bounced the Gyujin Rabaki with the, Akihiro. We're just going to get to rush that. No! Our LR Gundam Barbatos. I guess we'll rush that blocker. Oh, they were able to untap it. That's kind of fun. So they did have the Aegis MA mode with the Atherin that I was worried about. We did play around it by putting that Akihiko on that unit. They did kill the naked one, though. But we can play it again. We do have this annoying blocker to deal with. I am going to play the Isaribi and see what that gets us. Hey, all right. We can get some suppression shenanigans going. We have nothing to get back. Oh no, we have nothing to get back. So suiciding our Gusion doesn't accomplish that much. We can. Okay, I think we will mobile. I don't want a mobile worker because I want to get this Gundam Barbatos off and figure out about the. Okay, but I get to do 1 damage to a unit to give it +1 AP. Okay. We're going to play that. Deal a damage to this Graze custom so we can get that back with Akihiko at a later date. It now is a 3-2, so we're going to try to kill off that Aegis. Will it let us? They will. I'm all for that. They really want to keep this base safe. Which makes me feel like I want to attack it? I don't get a benefit for that, though. I guess theoretically this Barbatos could finish it off. If they block, then great. We got rid of a 4-2. Okay. And we can find a way to give this Grazi an additional +1 maybe next turn. They do have a blocker, though. Ah! Oh, no, wait. We're just going to get to rush that, too. And they attacked with it. That, some odd plays from our opponent. Ooh, we get to Mikazuki both our Barbatoses. Big fan of that. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that other blocker. Perfect. All right. We're going to play... What a great draw this other Mikazuki was. We're going to play our Barbatos second form again. We're going to deal 1 damage to itself. Deal 1 damage to that Perfect Strike token. Then we're going to play this other Mikazuki on the Barbatos 4th form. Deal 1 damage to itself. Deal 1 damage to the token. Token's gone. No blockers anymore. We're going to let the Gundam Barbatos 4th form finish off the base. Base is gone. Okay, now we're going to see if this suppression, which I believe should be a global effect, will work on 2 shields. Let's see. It does not. Okay, now again, this could be that the programmer isn't certain and so is playing it safe here. It could be that is indeed how it works. We don't have an official ruling yet, so let's keep that in mind. There is not a good advantage to attacking with our 2-2 because this 3-3 is just going to block it. We theoretically would have lost another shield if I attacked in a different order, but that's no biggie. Because I still feel our position here is pretty good. We're going to play this Gundam Gusion because we have the resources, and if we draw another thing we want to play, like I don't think there's super duper value in rushing it. Get this McGillis, that's pretty nice. They should trade here, they do. They picked the right unit to trade with. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean trade, I forgot about the -2. I was afraid they could play this Aegis Gundam, but they only had 1 card in hand anyway, and it wasn't a pilot, so no big deal. A little annoying. Okay, so, well, this Ferried can tap down this blocker, and we just get to win here. Alright, so our McGillis did come in handy here. Came in pretty clutch. Because we do still have 2 other units in play. I'm a fan of that. We'll put it on our weak little 2-2. Tap the blocker. Let's have this one go to town. Let's see what we got in there. Okay, no shield. So if this one's a shield, we'll have some problems. But otherwise, we'll be okay. We just wouldn't attack with this Barbatos in that instance. Well, but then they'll have the blocker for the following turn. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to kill them. Okay. So we got to see it at work there. We did get some good play from the AI opponent there. We got the blocker in the shields, the Kira Isle Strike.
So some good play, and we did play a little sloppy because I wanted to test out that suppression effect. Again, I don't believe there's an official ruling. That might change by the time you're watching this video, but I am recording this basically immediately after they had announced what the full deck list was, so we could try it out and get you the content as soon as possible. Thanks for indulging me in that test platform. It's good to know that, at least for the purposes of these videos and this testing, that is how suppression is going to work. And that'll help us in the mirror match, because I think that one's going to be tricky. So stay tuned for that video. And other than that, have good luck at your weeklies.